with the results so far for match week 35. So as you can see, Norwich City lost out by 4-0 to West Ham. Norwich are the first team to be relegated this season. Watford beat Newcastle 2-1, and there's confirmation of the result between Liverpool and Burnley. Still to come in today's action, we've got Sheffield United against Chelsea in the race for Europe, and Brighton host Manchester City. So let's take a look at the Premier League table. So here's the top half of the table. The champions are on 93 points from their 35 Premier League games. It means they have to win all of their remaining games if they want to surpass the points tally of 100 set by Manchester City. And there you can see, Burnley fans, you'll be delighted. You're up to 9th in the table. At this stage last season, you were 15th.
Jurgen, does that feel like a frustrating afternoon? Some missed opportunities, shall we say?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could have. I saw a really good game of my side for a long time during the game. But we left the door open for Burnley. We didn't close it. We should have scored 2, 3, 4 goals at least, and didn't do it. And then these kind of situations against Burnley, you never can defend 100% because the ref today let all these challenges anyway happen, and so it was clear when the ball comes in the box, and then it's dangerous, and that's how they scored the goal. What I have to say that Burnley did really well. They stayed completely in the game. They were not bothered about conceding chances minute after minute. Pretty much, they just did what they wanted to do. So all respect for that. But on the other hand, it's of course frustrating, clear. Because we should have scored much earlier, and yeah, that's it.
In part because Nick Pope had a fantastic game in goal. I mean, the saves from Salah and Mane were outstanding.
Yeah, true. That came on top of all. That Nick Pope obviously was. We warmed him up during the game, and in the end he was properly warm and really sensational saves. That's true.
And chances came thick and fast, and even at the end, Mo Salah had one after.
Properly warm and really sensational saves. That's true.
And chances came thick and fast, and even at the end, Mo Salah had one after a crossbar, of course.
Yeah. But that's a problem that we have to mention these kind of things. It's our fault. So it's our fault because we should have closed the game. That's how it is, and we didn't do. And then these things happen. Look, Burnley is a team with an outstanding attitude, and they just stay in the game, and 2 top strikers up front with Rodriguez and Wood. So that's exceptional. I mean, Bidra came on, top striker as well. So they just offer constantly. They go for each ball. They make life. And a long time during the game was absolutely no problem. But of course, it's an intense period, and then you see the last line is not pushing. Our last line is not pushing up that far anymore, and then then it's no offside, and the boys then they have challenges, and they bring their body, and they get free kicks. In the first half, they had 3-4 corners, I think. That's always dangerous against Burnley. That's what they go for, and that's okay. But that's why you have to use your situations. And from a footballing point of view, that was one of the much better games against Burnley which we played, because I can't remember that we created that many chances against Burnley. So it was really good. But you stand here, have only 1 point, and that is not exactly what we wanted.
Maybe a couple of plus points of the youngsters, the performance of Williams and Jones. Are you pleased with that?
Good. But well, absolutely no doubt about that. They only played because we knew they can play like this.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Nick, that was a bit of a turn-up. Held the champions, and weren't for the woodwork, it could even be better.
Yeah, I know. We pushed on second half. Really, after they scored, I thought we played really well, and created chances of our own. Every set piece, we looked dangerous. Every ball in the box, we looked dangerous. And unfortunately enough, just didn't quite go in for us again.
Was that the message at half-time? Be more aggressive and go for it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, obviously carry on from where we kind of left off after the goal and how we reacted then. We started to press a bit higher, win the ball a bit higher, win set pieces, and make chances of our own. Like I say, nearly worked.
So you had to make a save at the end, but in the first half, the 2 outstanding saves, one from Salah and one from Mane, kept you in the game.
Yeah, it's nice to be involved. You come to big grounds like this, you expect to be busy. The big teams are Premier League champions for a reason. So you've got to come in, you've got to be ready for action. So yeah, fortunate enough to keep a couple out.
They're analysing that back in the studio. Which is the best for you?
It's that long ago now. I'm not really sure. The first one felt like I was nearly behind the line by the time I saved it, so I was happy it managed to get around the post. Yeah.
And that battle for the Golden Gloves with your opposite number there, of course it hasn't made any ground today.
He hasn't, and I've not got away from him, so yeah, it will carry on. It's
opposite number there. Of course, it hasn't made any ground today.
He hasn't, yeah, and I've not got away from him, so yeah, it'll carry on. It's been great. He's been top end for 2 seasons, I must say, and he was class again today. He's a top goalkeeper. So to be up there with him is it's an honour.
Oh, and what's the secret of this Burnley side? Because whatever happens now this season, it's been outstanding when you compare your resources to other clubs.
I don't think there is many secrets. We work hard. We've got a good togetherness. We've got a great group of players that every minute the ball's on the pitch, we're working as hard as we possibly can, and that's a massive part of our success, I'd say. And not only that, it's day in day out at the training ground as well. We don't just rock up on a Saturday without a plan and without any method. It's something that a lot of thought goes into, and it's all glued together by the people.
Well, congratulations, a good point. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Smiles all round there for Nick Pope. He said he made a couple, but he actually made 8 saves in the game.
Yeah, he was magnificent. I think he's sort of playing his performance down a little bit there, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, he was tremendous against West Ham earlier on in the week, and today he's put in another top performance. And if it wasn't for him, I'm sure Liverpool would have won the game quite comfortably.
And to put in a performance like that against the champions, that's a confidence boost, isn't it?
Absolutely, he said it himself. A big grounds like that, when you go to the home of the champions, you're going to have to perform well. You need the rub of the green. They got a little bit lucky against West Ham in the week, but come out on the right end of the result. And today they battled hard. When it's only 1-0, I mean, he said there, it's a simple game plan. Head the ball out of our box, put our bodies on the line, be determined in the opposition box, get set pieces, and you will score goals. And that's what they did today. They just stuck in it. They never get phased, not having possession. They don't care if they got possession or not. That's what Sean Dyche drills into them. Just stay in the game. At 1-0, half a chance, you're back in it. And they could have nicked it in the end.
They could have. Well, let's analyse the story in the second half. And it started with this goal from Rodriguez, but a slightly controversial one as well.
Yeah, they've given the free kick for offside here. We're presuming they've given it for Mane from where the free kick was taken from. But, you look at that, it's clearly not offside. But, yeah, this is what Burnley do. They win free kicks, they get bodies around the ball, and, Big Tarkowski's won the first header and Rodriguez has finished it well. But, that was touch and go whether it was offside. But if you look at it, Liverpool's line's not quite straight, and I think it's Robertson's kept them all onside. And the ball's dropped down, and it's a great finish.
Yeah. It is a great
they keep that high line. VAR had a look at it. It was onside in their opinion, and that's 2-2 for Rodriguez. He fight all day. He's fighting off scraps. There's nothing going through to him on free play, but he knows there's always a chance. When you've got Tarkowski in your side, I don't think he lost a header there today. He's always competing. We saw Norwich play earlier, and we saw their centre halves, and they never won one header all afternoon. That's what it's all about. Bread and butter. You're a centre-back. James will know. You need to win headers. And he won more headers than anyone on the pitch today. That's what it's all about. Bread and butter. You're a centre-back. James will know. You need to win headers. And he won more headers than anyone on the pitch today, including Van Dijk.
And Rodriguez has scored at Old Trafford and at Anfield this season. OK, well, let's talk about Robertson's penalty appeal. What do we think of this, James?
Well, as I said, straight after the game, for me it's a penalty, and VAR have looked at it, and I'm not sure why it's not been given. You can see Robertson was, me and Tim were speaking, Robertson was whinging at the ref for 3-4 minutes after it, so he clearly thinks it's a penalty. For me, obviously looking at it again, yeah, it is, and I don't know what Tim thinks, but for me,
I think it's a bang-on, nailed-on penalty. I think doesn't matter if they play the ball first. So they tell us if they make contact with the football, it makes no difference because he's made contact with the player inside the area. I think the ball stayed in play for another probably 1-2 minutes. What allowed them to get it off the hook. If that ball's coming to me and I'm a Liverpool player, I'm kicking it out of play. I'm also forcing the issue to the referee to go and have a look at the monitor or the VAR to have a look. Because that, for me, is a nailed-on penalty. And they got away with that, Burnley.
And you can understand why Jurgen Klopp was so frustrated at the end, as was Andy Robertson there.
Yeah, I can understand it. But you just got to get on with it. This decisions go for you and against you. You have to get on with it. Someone has decided it's not. Get on with the game.
It makes you think that why has it been decided it's not? For me and Tim, who both played the game, we think it's a nailed-on penalty. What's the reasons why it hasn't been given?
Yeah, that is the question. Well, let's talk about another incident, because actually Burnley could have won this game if it wasn't for this one from Goodmanson hitting the bar, James.
Yeah, that's a lot of people might say it's not the right way to play, but that's what Burnley do. As Tim said, they stay in the game, they win set plays, they sort of keep the ball in the right area, and like you say, this is the lad's got to do better. For me, it's not a tough chance, and second half they probably would have deserved to get that goal, but like we say, that's what Burnley do. They stay in games and give themselves chances.
That is exactly what they do. What about Salah? He had a chance or two, didn't he?
He had a chance.
He had a chance later on as well.
This was his big chance. I mean, he's chasing that golden boot. It just comes on his wrong side. If this is on his left foot, he surely scores, but he just sweeps it, can't get enough on it, and Pope, as he was all day, in the right place at the right time. It's a great cross from Alexander-Arnold, who come on there as substitution. And if that was on his left foot, he sweeps that into the net before Pope can even see it. But the big goalkeeper deserved a bit of luck today, and that one goes right down his throat, and he saves it.
Time for some more reaction after this game, and let's hear from the Burnley boss, Sean Dyche.
Congratulations, Sean. You stayed right in the game till the end, and you're only a crossbar away from a famous win there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it'd be pushing it a bit. They've had chances, as they do here. I thought they were terrific, especially in the first half. They started, as they've done all season, they play, but they press, and they don't give you a breather. And then we felt if we could stay just in it till half-time, because we just about did, hung on in there. And then we felt, as the game went on, we might find moments, and we did.
Yeah, and you did dig in, and Nick Pope contributed to that with at least two fantastic saves, one from Salah, one from Mane.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a strange kind of game because they've had chances, but a lot of maybes, until...
At least two fantastic saves, one from Salah, one from Mane.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a strange kind of game because they've had chances, but a lot of maybes, until the end, actually had a golden chance right at the end. But we've created some really good chances today, against a top side, and like I said, we know what coming to these grounds like. It's very difficult. Forget about the fact there's no one in it. It's still very difficult against sides like that.
You seemed to get stronger as the game went on. What did you say at half-time?
Well, I just reminded them of the fact, don't wait for 1-0 down football. Often teams relax a bit when they're 1-0 down. It seems a strange thing to say, but it's like the pressure's off. Let's go and see what we can do. So I reminded them that. I said, don't just let that happen. I said, we've got to make it happen. And I thought second half we attempted to. Like I say, it's very difficult. You're not going to dominate the ball, but you're going to have to find moments. And I thought we did that well.
And Jay Rodriguez took his moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a sublime finish, well-worked set piece. We like our set pieces. We've been powerful with them for a long time now. Really, really great header, actually. And then to hit it so clean. I mean, we'd had a chance in the first half. J-Rod actually had a great chance. At the end, Vids, it's just away from him. So there's a couple of moments that I think the secret is when you come to these grounds, you've got to stay in it, but you've got to find a moment. And I think we did that.
And you did. And look, how many moments can you find? I mean, Burnley now have another season to plan for the Premier League. What about yourself? I mean, how can you keep delivering these miracles?
Well, it's not down to me, by the way. It's down to the players. I can only guide them. It's down to them what they deliver. But I think the mentality is firm. I think the belief in each other is a given. And I think, these are things that sometimes get overlooked, but they're a powerful force, particularly when you've got all noses pointing in the right direction, which we have.
Very much.
I think, these are things that sometimes get overlooked, but they're a powerful force, particularly when you've got all noses pointing in the right direction, which we have.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Sean Dyche, full of praise for his players, of course, giving them all of the credit, but he deserves some credit as well. I mean, only Liverpool have earned more points in the Premier League since January than Burnley.
Yeah, he deserves. He always, puts it onto his players, which is a sign of a great manager. He deserves huge credit. He's a great manager. He gets his sides well. Burnley gets them well drilled. Every player knows what they're doing, and it seems like he's got a great super set of lads around him that want to play well and play for him, and that's what he's got in that Burnley team.
And given the way that Burnley came back after the restart under a bit of a cloud, contractual issues with players behind the scenes, players getting injured. I mean, I don't think that Burnley came back after the restart under a bit of a cloud, contractual issues with players behind the scenes, players getting injured. I mean, I don't think you would have thought at that stage they would have taken a point from Anfield.
No, well, you wouldn't bet on anyone taking a point from Anfield, would you, on what they've done this year at Liverpool. But the good thing about Burnley Football Club and Sean Dyche and all his group of players, they all know what they are. To stay in the Premier League is success. Now, he seems to exceed expectation every single year. When they have difficult times, barren times when they can't pick up results, they just carry on as normal. They don't get too excited about it or too down. And there's a levelness, mental strength about the club, knowing that they will pick up points if they continue to stick to the plan. And the plan is set by that man, Sean Dyche. I think he's a good manager. He's very well organised. And surely there must be bigger teams than Burnley, with respect, knocking at his door. You know, I think how long can he continue doing it for Burnley Football Club? They would hope they would do it forever. But just recently, he started to prod the chairman a little bit. We're talking about we need investment, we need it. They know what they are. I agree with the way they run their club. I don't think they should invest. But if you don't invest, you need managers who work with the work ethic of Sean Dyche. Yeah. So you need to keep hold of him.
He does. And I think many would agree that Sean Dyche deserves a little bit more credit for the work that he does. He doesn't seem to get the praise that he deserves.
No, he seems to bat it off, if anything. Any sort of credit he seems to bat off, which, again, like I say, it proves what a man he is. But, as Tim said, with Burnley, is Sean Dyche happy with just survival being success? I'm sure he wants to move on and have a chairman that's going to give him some funds and show what he can really do. But at Burnley and the circumstances they got and the financial sort of way they run their club, he's done an amazing job.
Well, let's turn our attention back to the match and have a look at the goal that came from Liverpool in the first half. This was a fantastic header, wasn't it, Tim, from Robertson?
It was. Well, you wonder why Robertson out there. He's the goal scorer. He's the one who took the corner on the left-hand side. He was going to swing down, decided to go with a short one. Van Dijk keeps it alive. You see Fabinho now. He just gives himself room. He's already spotted Robinson, and he drops it right onto his head. I mean, he doesn't ping it at him where he is at the stage. He drops it low. You see the virtual here. Brilliant. I mean, he pulls it. We're seeing it through Fabinho's eyes here. He pulls himself out. Now we've seen Robertson on the outside there. You see him coming in, and he knows he's just going to hit it into the space where he is running. When he checks in now and he looks, you can see Robertson there already on the move, and he drops it just over the head of the last defender. And he almost invites him to say, put that one in the top corner. Still a very good header. And he drops it just over the head of the last defender. And he almost invites him to say, put that one in the top corner. Still a very good header, don't get me wrong. But what a pass from Fabinho. Out in vision and execution of the pass. Magnificent.
Yeah, James, give us some perspective on this, because that looks like a near impossible pass to pick, but he executed it so perfectly.
Exactly, he executed it perfectly. 90% of the players would probably play it along, get it out to Robertson for a cross, but, he's got that pass in the bag, and like I say, he was looking at it early. I think the run from Robertson, setting off has made his mind up, but like you say, the pass is inch perfect, and it's a great finish.
As for Liverpool's perspective, I mean, Jurgen Klopp will be really frustrated with that second half, won't he?
He'd be frustrated with the result. I think they prodded away, didn't they? He knows Burnley are going to be very rugged and dogged and stay in the game. He would have said that to him at half-time. He knows they have to be stronger from set pieces. And he'll be disappointed that they conceded from a set piece in the end.